Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday, October 18th. And if I was a wholesaler, I'd be very, very pleased with this distribution. Um, let's take a look and see what's going on. We have our look at 43.63, that level. You can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 days of trading underneath 43.63. And then we have distribution for 3 days, a dip underneath to clean up the market, and then right back to distribution. Okay. So this is why people who are shorting this thing and people who shorted it on the way up are stuck. And then people shorted it here again underneath 43.63. That's why we cannot get underneath 43.63 yesterday. Anybody, support, let me put it to you really, really simply. You guys talk about support and resistance. Let's figure out what support is. In markets that are rotational, folks, here's a little something that's true. Support in a market that is rotational, especially in something like a futures market, is where the shorts are trapped. They are the first group of buyers, then people establishing long positions. The first people to come in and buy a market where short selling is allowed, right, is trap shorts who need to close their position or shorts who have shorted higher and are closing out and booking profits. So support is what we call the bid. The bid is where the shorts are trapped. As markets move lower, you can see shorts were not trapped here, right? They were covering, right? Here, you have a market that has a sustainable bid at 63. We looked underneath it, came back up, couldn't get to it, came back up, bang again. So we're just in this rotation, in this balance. Yeah, exactly, trade maker. What and why does supply run out? Right? It took me a while to be able to explain this. Supply runs out because the large sellers who control it see that, oh, there's buyers. So why would I sell 5,000 contracts under 43.70 if I can sell them at 43.96? It's just simple commerce, right? Sellers would prefer to get higher prices. Prices go down because sellers are forced to compete and sell at lower price, right? That's when supply comes in. But if there's no supply, it's because they don't have to sell that low, right? There's no competition. This is what's happening in these markets. And everybody has been trading, and you see this all over Twitter, people just coming up with asinine things because they don't understand the rotation of inventory. So they come up with all sorts of just completely stupid analogies and theories. But remember, it's a market, right? You take a bunch of cheap crap and you sell it for a higher price for as long as you can. When the buying runs out, you put it on sale, and then buyers will come in, and then you just raise prices again. See? So all we have to do is figure out how to trade it now that we know what's going on. Tonight, our overnight inventory is 100% short, meaning that all of the trading, every single trade tonight, has been underneath yesterday's close. There's every single trade in the overnight is underneath yesterday's close. We went down into this 43.86. There are stops and shorts that are trapped here, right? There was buying. We've got a poor low in the overnight. right? We got a poor low, which means we've got trapped shorts coming in and aggressively bidding the market. That's where supply runs out, trade maker. And those shorts have been increasing the price that they've been willing to pay steadily through the night. Does that make sense? So what we're looking for when London opens is, do we take these lower stops or do we rotate up and take everything that we've bought? Because a lot of this inventory is short covering and a lot of it is long. Can we take this and sell it up here? So if overnight inventory is short, the resulting trade direction is long. If overnight inventory is long, the resulting trade direction is short. Does that make sense? That's why we care about overnight inventory. Because the market is rotational, because it's the same people who are buying and selling. There are two things that I've seen this month that completely astound me. One is a fund manager going on Twitter and asking who the seller is at 3 in the morning. And I'm like, dude, if you don't know who the seller is at 3 in the morning, thank God I do not have $5 million in your fund that you're managing for me. Right? It's your job to know. It's the wholesalers and the prop traders that act like wholesalers. They're both sides of the trade. Yeah, Raj, I couldn't believe it. Low interest rates, right? Every idiot's got a fund, right? Look, people were paying 300 grand for a digitized digitized image of something. I mean, of a monkey. Come on, seriously? That's low interest rates. Anyway, so let's see if we take out the close on an upswing, your target is 4403 quarter. That's your first target to the upside. Downside, if we take it, then your targets are just the lower stops down here. So when London opens, we will find out. You could think of like the world, one market opens and another market opens, and we just open these markets around the world. As those markets open, new order flow comes in to futures markets. Yeah, you bet it. Yeah, you're a fund manager, right? Hey, don't laugh. It could be the beginning of something, trade maker. You never know. Okay, Ken Griffin started his hedge fund in his college dorm. Okay, look where he is now. That's one thing I loved about Wall Street, right? That's one thing I loved about it. Right? I was always inspired by the story of Sidney Weinberg, who was the CEO of Goldman Sachs before I was even born. The guy started out at Goldman as a janitor's assistant, getting paid $3 a week to clean out spittoons. Now that is a disgusting job, and he went from that to being the CEO. Anything's possible on Wall Street. Oh, so we're right at cost basis. We're at yesterday's cost basis, tonight's cost basis. kind of just sitting around twiddling our thumbs, waiting for people to come into the store. There's the cost basis. A slow night, which means I did not check Market Watch. Oh, Tesla and Netflix. Well, I hope everybody went out and bought a Tesla. Well, we got housing starts, building permits, and then we've got the Fed crew talking at noon. Tomorrow we have jobless claims. Yeah, earnings week, right? Oh boy, oh boy. Is it? Let me see. I haven't looked at the 4-hour chart today. Thanks for reminding me. NQ looks pretty slow too. Volatility ahead? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, there's the 4-hour, right? In a 4-hour chart, we're just in this little balance here. Let's take a little volume profile and draw it from that low to that high. Let's just see where the volume is in the short term. Huh? See, it's good distribution balance. Eh? Look at that. That's nice. Let's get the 1-minute chart up here. I've been playing with this balance. I don't know. It's not really good. I just looked at that high and that low and came up with that balance. I should probably redo it. That's better. A bit smaller, but that's fine. So what I'm doing when I'm looking for this balance, folks, is I'm looking at that high and that low. And when we break below that low, do we come right back to that high? When we break above that high, do we come right back to that low? Well, it was fairly close. So I'm going to use that as a balance, and then I'm going to double it and see it all. If it, if it works. I think it's going to be a little short. Oh, let's give that the morning and see if it's worthwhile. Oh man, it's 13 minutes before the let it open. Does anybody have any questions while we watch the paint dry? I'm sitting in traffic. Oh, you're doing Uber duty this morning for the family? Pretty slow, folks. Goldman Sachs reports 33% profit drop. Yikes. Pulling back from consumer lending. It's a push pull tonight, Chris. It's a push pull. I have a feeling, just now take this with a grain of salt. I have a feeling that we're going to come in when London opens, try and take this out, stop here, and then do a reverse back up. London likes to shake the tree, right? London likes to take out the really close stops, and then a lot of the times it won't take that last stop before the overnight low. And when it gets down there, it'll turn and do this. No, we have no movement in the long run, Elster, because we've been in balance, my friend. It's that's why remember how Dalton says markets don't go from trend to trend, they go from trend to balance to trend to balance. It's accumulation distribution cycles. Belgium. That's right. You're in Belgium, man. That reminds me, I gotta check up on my old partner, Tommy Three Tick. Every time he gets a new girlfriend, he disappears. Kids. And we're just going back and forth here on top of VWAP. Yeah, I heard Belgium is expensive. Like my old partner and his family, they own optical businesses and fashion businesses, and they made a lot of money selling fancy stuff. People were spending really expensive, like huge amounts of money on things like designers, sunglasses, and stuff. Like, okay. Okay, let's see if we can take out this 92 and 3/4 stop. I don't know. I don't know much about the Netherlands. I went to Amsterdam this year and I loved it. Once I kind of calmed down a little bit, Amsterdam's a great city. It's just the bicycles you got to watch out for. You get nailed by one of those things. They're everywhere. Like flies. Okay, we're taking that H low. Let's see if we can take the E low. Oh man, this is like the slow train. So, Chris, I think we're going to take out that 91 stop when London opens, but we still have 6 minutes. Yesterday, I found I took a couple of good trades, not much more than that. I found that my sometimes, and maybe it's just that I'm getting old, sometimes I lose the ability to like really focus. So I'll trade less. Like I'll be distracted. Something will distract me. It'll take my focus off. And I don't like to trade unfocused retail because you can get into trouble really quick if you miss something small. And so I had to wait, and I did two trades were like really where I sat and I built a position. I built a position, and as soon as it, and then I bought 5 to 10 contracts. That's generally the average. And then I just put offers out as soon as I bought a contract, I put in a sell order. As soon as I bought a contract, I put in a sell order. And I just sat in the trade. And then as soon as the market went up, it just took my sells and I was out. I was like done. The night scalping has been kind of crappy at this particular time for the last 2 days. I don't see a spot for that trade just yet if I were to do it tonight. Yeah, look below and fail of 77. Yeah. Oh, 4 hours are nice. Yeah. That can really, those 4 hour charts can kind of help you determine when to take a trade. If it's in a 4 hour candle and there's really nothing going on in the 1 minute, you can kind of take a break and come back to it. This is like maple syrup running down a tree. It's so slow. Oof. Hey, Moran, how are you? There we go. Taking the stops before London. Yeah, we've got a poor low. We've got a poor low in Globex. So we've got good buying underneath 86. As earnings season heats up, we'll probably get some better action. And what I'm focusing on in the next 2 minutes is to see whether or not London can come and take out this 43.88. Here's a couple of scenarios because, and the only reason I'm saying this is because overnight inventory is 100% short. Okay, now it's going to come down. I'm looking at this 43.88 area right here, which is the bottom of balance, right? So I'm not going to do anything until we get down there. I'm not short because I didn't short the look above 96 and fail. So I don't really have a trade on right now. So I've got to look and see where my responsive long is going to be. And maybe if we come into this area, go sideways for a little bit and then that move back up. We'll see. Or it could just come down to 84 and go sideways for an hour or two, which would just drive everybody insane. Because the slower the price action, the longer it takes to flush out a market. Does that make sense? Because you don't have as many participants, right? So the longer it takes for moves to develop. All right, London's going to open in 28 seconds. Let's see if got some extra caffeine in the tea here. So we took all the lower stops. The last one remaining here is 87.75. There's 88. I'm testing 88.25 with 1 micro. I don't have a big stop on it. If it like takes out 87.75, 87.5, I'm out of the trade. I've gonna put a sell order in at 89 just to see if we get any upward momentum. Otherwise, I'll just flatten the trade. I'm testing this with a micro. It's not to make money. I'm out at 89. So I bought 88.25 and sold it at 89 just to see how much buying was there, how many bids were there, right? And technically, it should go back up to 91, but the problem is we've got this standard deviation at 90 where I know there's going to be a seller. That's why I put an offer out and just took 3 ticks on that, right? That's just me testing the market. That's what professional traders do. They don't trade 1 micro for like a point or less than a point. That's not how you make money, but that's a business expense. That's me paying the market for some information. This time we kind of broke even because it's just going to cover commissions on that trade. Getting past that standard deviation, that's interesting. Let's see if we can get up to 91. Now I'm looking to see where the seller is going to step in. Remember I said before this happened that when London opens, it's going to try and take out that low, but it won't take out the overnight low, and then it'll rotate up. You guys remember when I said that? Okay, cool. We kind of know London's kind of got the same grift, right? You know, it's like the guy who puts mustard on people's heads in the subway so they put their hands on their head to get the mustard out and then he takes their money right out of their pockets. It's like the same thing every like the grift. London likes to take the lower stops, grab that cheap product and go sell it, right? Now I did it with a micro for 3 ticks. If you did it for like 50 or 60 contracts for 3 ticks, that's actually not bad money. And remember that these people don't pay commissions. The other thing that retail traders don't understand is that the big traders, they negotiate their commissions with their prime broker at the beginning of the year. They say, okay, this year we're going to pay you 5 million in commissions or 6 million in commissions so they can trade as much as they want. So they're not paying a per trade commission. Does everybody understand that? That's why people ask, how can they trade for a tick or 2 ticks? Because their commissions are already negotiated at the beginning of a year, right? They don't pay per trade, right? When you run money, you pay commissions, you negotiate those commissions, and it's not just commissions. You're paying your prime broker to raise you capital. You're paying them for research, uh, you know, all of that stuff. Exactly, Rem. Hmm. No follow through over 90, boy. Right back down to 88 and a quarter. That was a short run. So it's gonna it we and Chris said we do have inventory above us, right? So it's gonna be kind of a slow night. Now we're gonna have to vacuum up all the contracts over 92 down here, hopefully using the shorts trapped under 84 to hold the market up. Because everybody's not selling at the same time, Phil, vacuuming means you just sit on the bid. So let's say if I was a large trader, right, and I know that shorts are trapped under 86, what I'll do, Phil, is I'll sit there and I'll put in a bid here for 100. Okay. And if I get filled on 75, then I move my bid up because I know there's not enough supply. If I put in a bid for 100 and boom, I get filled on 100, I'll put a bid for 100 down here at 88 to see whether or not the market comes in and hits me. So I'm fishing for supply. Does that make sense? That's why you're vacuuming it back and forth, back and forth. Now, there are going to be people competing with you to buy. There'll be the short sellers, and there'll be other traders who are trying to build long positions and wholesalers that you're going to compete with. That's why you get that back and forth, right? That's what you're doing right here, right? They're all sort of like haggling, right? And if a seller comes in, it's crowd mentality. So if you come in and you flash that you've got 1,000 contracts for sale, they'll all drop their bids down to 87 and hope that you'll come down and hit them. If you don't, they'll come up and take you. And that's what I'm working on with this software. I'm going to give people the experience of how it feels to trade 5,000 contracts, to trade 5 million shares during the day. So they understand why price moves, then it will become obvious what the trade is, right? That's why even when I started, I didn't know, should I be long? Should I be short? That's why people get turned around, right? There are obvious times to not trade. And then when you take the trade, it has to be obvious, like getting slapped in the face, right? See, now that's a business technique. You're entering on those backfills and taking advantage of that, right? Here, we have a little accumulation balance. That's where large traders are bidding and then dropping their bids and moving their bids up and dropping their bids and moving their bids up. How much backfill can one expect? If if there's a lot of competitive selling, Phil, a lot. If there's no competition amongst sellers, the backfill doesn't really last that long. Like right now, there's got to be, let's see if there's a seller at 91. It's offering above 91. Can we get a print up there at 91 quarter, 91 half? Nope. There's competition. There's the backfill right there, Phil. Right? So it's backfilling right now as we speak. Just a tick or two, but that's a backfill. That's what a red candle is. After a move up, a red candle is a backfill. That's when you create buying and you go back and you fill in the people that didn't get any so you can sell your product. And people will always say, JJ, why wouldn't you just hold on and sell at a higher price? Well, that would work if you were the only seller in the market. Unfortunately, you're competing with thousands of other traders who are selling, right? It's not like there's just Walmart and they got a monopoly, right? That's why you got to get in there and capture the buying and turn your inventory into cash so you can go about your next business operation. I'm going to keep working on trying to get the message more clear to people. That's my goal, is to try and make it so it makes sense. So you can actually focus on making money instead of keeping a whole bunch of like useless information in your head. I'm not saying all information is useless. I'm just saying, what do you need to make money? Like, turn the time that you spend learning this into money. That's my goal. And I think technology is here now that I can actually do that. Using things like AI and VR for teaching, I think it will be possible. Watching that offer over 91. Yeah, I want to put people in the trading chair, right? I want to put you in the trading chair. I want to have Omni in our room. I want his uncle and his dad calling you on the phone, giving you orders, and you knowing what to do with those orders, right? In the banking chair? I've never been in a banking chair. I was never a banker. I didn't have the pedigree for banking. You need a pedigree for banking, Bram, in North America, right? You got to go to the right university, right MBA program, you know, got to know those Yale, Harvard, all that stuff, Wharton. I crawled my way through the sewers of the penny stock market. The traders I knew, like one of my mentors, what he did before he was a floor trader was he dug pools for a living, like with a shovel. He was like a manual laborer and then he became a floor trader and one of the best damn position traders I've ever seen. We used to call him the Reverend. Exactly. Get on some boards, Phil. Just make sure that they give you director and officers insurance. Okay. Just make sure the company pays for your director and officer insurance. So if they get sued, that you get out of jail free card. It seems to be working. Man, it's slow though. Oof. It's like the vacuum cleaner's got a broken wheel. Yeah, exactly, Chris. Right. If we get over 91, we'll have a seller at VWAP because if you were long 89, you'd be a seller at VWAP for sure, right? Yeah, Phil, if just anyone remember if they become a director of a publicly traded corporation, make sure that the company pays for your officer and director insurance. Make sure that that's in your contract. See, we're always thinking about risk. You're waiting for 93? Oh, I'm dreaming about a big cup of coffee. That's what I'm dreaming about. It's starting to get a little chilly here in Sheffield. Yeah, autumn. You're long. Somebody's in a trade. Yeah, good for you guys. Patient. Flavius, is that your dog? I was, I thought you lived in Rome. I was thinking like a Cane Corso, or Neapolitan Mastiff. Uh, there's about six of those dogs in my building. Man, those things have high energy. Oh, there we go. You 89 longs. Here we go. 92. Can we offer over 92? We're creeping. We're creeping. Oh, feels like the market's trying to like lug a big bag of rocks up a hill right here. Not yet. Well, back to 88. Okay, second scenario. Second scenario, right? Which remember I said it kind of quickly. We might go sideways here for a little while, maybe an hour or two. So don't be too upset if that happens. Okay. Short trades, remember to sell into strength if you're long. Remember to cover into weakness if you're short. Keep it light, keep it easy. No need to get all twisted up. Middle of the week. Let's see how many of those Teslas Elon got out the door. And who else has earnings today, Raj? Yeah, it's a little bit of distribution here too, Bram. You nailed it. Netflix. Morgan Stanley. Procter and Gamble. Put it to you this way, folks. As retail traders, this is the week that you promised that you would get into the gym. This is the week for it. There's 88 quarter. At this time, I'm kind of wondering what's down here underneath 86. I'd like to see what's down underneath 43.86. Not sure if I'll get a chance to see that. It's going to be a slow morning. Any other questions, folks? Let's see what you got here, Chris. 87 area has big volume. Is there something to watch for? 87. Oh, yeah, there is. I would say that's short covering when K&L came down here, Chris. There is, I'd say there was short covering and some position building because the market went back up in M. And it did that dip in K&L. I was waiting to take the J-Lo trade, and I just ran out of patience. And then I came back and I saw that K had taken J, came down to these single prints, filled some. L was the trade to take. I'd say that there is some short covering and some position here. Yesterday was kind of a day that if you missed your trade, you'd have to wait maybe an hour or two for the next one. That's what I found anyway. We might have a bit of that this week. Could be. Yeah, no, there was covering in VWX. You're right. Because we high closed. So when we dipped down underneath 90, 91.90, a lot of short covering came in. And that's why A, B, and C in the overnight went right back up. No, you're not wrong at all. Let's see if we could take out that overnight low. Can we put in a proper low? What do you think? You guys are all asleep too, right? What dick? Fixed a poor low with a poor low. Oh, okay. It's going to be that kind of morning. All right. I'm going to the gym. Oh, wait. Let's see if they get down to those single prints. There we go. A proper low. Value area low, which is the bottom of yesterday's cost basis, is 43.84. That's a proper overnight low now. And what does that mean? That means that they are allowing the market to come lower. They're seeing that there is a supply. So let's see if we accept down here. The next set of stops for us would be that L low from yesterday. Come here. It's driving me nuts. Right here. Just above. There's a set of stops at L. There's a set of stops at K. Shorts are trapped here from yesterday because we didn't fill the single prints. So there's a little responsive buying. We're just looking for the bid quietly here. Yeah, exactly. Alligator arms. Keep your, one hand on your wallet. Keep your head on a swivel. Trade less. Trade smarter. All right. right, folks, I will let you go a little early here. If anybody doesn't have any questions. See if M period can take out the L low. Have a good day, everyone. See the rest of you in Globex. I mean, in RTH. I gotta go get some oxygen to my brain. I'll see you folks in a bit. Thanks. Bye for now.